Hey guys, what's going on? This is David Chen, and you are here on another edition of New York Weekly's #1 podcast, rated in 2020, Pandanomics. And today, I'm with my very special guest, Mr. Donovan Carter. Mr. Carter, how you doing?
Man, good, man. Good, man. Appreciate you having me on.
I love having you on, man. And future business partner, of course, as well. We'll get into that in a little second of what you're doing. But, I want to talk a little bit about you and how much an impact your character made for me. And I didn't tell you this. I've told London this, but I'm going to tell you this. For those of you guys who don't know, need to get out of rock, Mr. Carter played an amazing character, one of the main guys for Ballers for HBO, side by side with the man known as The Rock. And my favorite guy, Rob. Rob is he's hilarious, man, from what I've seen. And I remember when the show first came out and your character came out, I was like, there's no way this cat is this nice. There's no way this guy is that nice of a human being. And he has to be like this. He must be really kind of acting. And I remember when I watched you the first, obviously all 5 seasons, but the first 2 seasons, man, I fell in love with your character. Now, London was different because I hated him. I was like, oh, this guy's just a jerk. But you, I was rooting for you. I was like, please let him go back to the Cowboys. Don't let his knee get hurt. Please let him play League of Legends. You're so nice and lovable. And when I started talking to you in person on our call, I realized I was talking to almost the same guy. Like, it was just a nice, good dude, right? So are you genuinely this nice of a human being as you do play in that character? Or what did you have to do to make that transitional change?
I mean, I would say for the most part, like, my personality, like, people always call me the lovable lug, especially like Vernon. But I'm always just good vibes, good energy, man. Like, I'm always upbeat, fun, like to laugh, man. Like, I'm not too serious. I just don't like to get mad, too much, because when I get there, you don't want to see me there. But I was fortunate, Vern was a good guy. I think I'm a little bit more vocal than he was in the show. But our personalities definitely match, because I'm down to earth, man. Like, I just treat people how I want to be treated. So I want to be treated nice, so I'm gonna treat you nice until you give me a reason not to.
I love that, though. But that's a positive type of mentality in business. I think growing up, it's hard because when you play sports at a level that you played at, right? You played at UCLA. See the big banner in the back, and we actually, ironically, as we started talking, we realized we had a lot of mutual friends, which is even more funnier on that discussion. Yeah. We'll get there in a second. But you. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing and how you got into football, and did acting always play a role in what you wanted to do?
Yeah, man. I grew up in Southern California, specifically the San Fernando Valley, for my California people that's listening. But yeah, man, I was just just a regular kid. Went to school, played sports. I got introduced to football through my father. He actually coached football before I even started playing. Like, he liked to give back, mentor and help out kids. So he was coaching actually before I was even like old enough to play. And then when I finally got old enough where he let me play, he was my coach. He helped develop me. His goal was to get me a scholarship to college, and he pushed me, got me there. Got me getting up early, running. Doing stuff you don't want to do as a kid. But I'm just grateful that my father, was there, pushed me along the way. And acting was kind of there when I was a kid, because I was so interested in, like, I love TV, I loved movies. I think back then you had a lot of different sitcoms and different. I'm 31, so I was born in '89. So you just had different type of TV back then. So I love TV so much. Always thought about what actors seemed like a cool job. I just didn't know like how to go about it. Then I'm like, dang, you got to memorize lines and do all this stuff. So I just like, sports was always I was more comfortable doing that. And I kind of just put that dream aside. Still continue to play football. Got an opportunity to go to UCLA. Like you said, man, go Bruins. And I got my degree. And then once football was over, I started pursuing acting again.
It's amazing, man. Growing up in San Fernando Valley, y'all play some big players, right? I always considered Texas and California like the real places you play football, right? It's the two joints, right? So
yeah, man, I got you got to throw Florida in there too.
Florida State,
Yeah, Florida got a lot of players, but yeah, specifically, man, like where I grew up, we got a lot of players that went to college, went to NFL. California definitely should be respected because we got a lot of players that were good and still competing in the NFL.
I love it, man. I love it. When you went there and you picked, was UCLA always a dream of yours? At what moment did you realize that you wanted to be a Bruin?
Yeah, man. Honestly, like I hated school growing up. I didn't even think I would even go to college. And a school like UCLA is so hard to get into. We hear so many stories about.
Yeah, they denied me, just so you know.
Oh man, see, like I mean, it's the most applied school in the country, and you hear people that wouldn't get into UCLA, but they got accepted to Harvard, Stanford. So it was definitely, when I was younger, definitely discouraging, but I didn't let it get to me. I just kept working hard. Kept my grades up. And yeah, man, I got an opportunity to get a scholarship, but it wasn't until I stepped on campus. Like UCLA wasn't my dream school. I low-key wanted to go to the University of Miami, the U. Just because back in the day, and if you want to go to the NFL, I feel like Miami was like the place to go. But ended up committing to UCLA, man. And yeah, when I got on campus, I just fell in love with it. And I think even now, even being out of school, you just see how how beautiful UCLA is, and I hear about other people's experiences at their college, and it just let me know I made the right decision.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have a couple of family members that went there, and I visited a couple of times, and it was beautiful. So
Yeah.
you get there, UCLA, you're playing football. Tell me about your football experience, because you were a kid that didn't think you was going to go, but you made it, and you went to such a prestigious school, and you played some amazing games. Tell me about that experience.
Man, it was amazing, man. It was hard work, man. Early mornings, just grinding every day. Practice, meetings, school, tutoring. They just constantly had us doing stuff. But man, we preach competitive greatness, and champions are made at UCLA. So I was just so fortunate, man. Just all the tradition, John Wooden, all the national championships. Jackie Robinson went there. Just recently, Rayford Johnson, he just passed away. So just to be able to go there and step on campus and be like, man, I was on campus with all these, great people, man. Kerry Champion went there. The list goes on. And yeah, man, it was tough, man. The beginning of the year, just trying to my beginning of my college career, just trying to adjust to school and my schedule, time management, and everything. And it's a hard school, man. You got people, young women, young men, they really smart, man. They got 3.5, 4.0 GPAs. So I not only had to compete with some of the best athletes, in the country on the field, I also have to compete with some of the best, minds in the world in the classroom. So, it was just nonstop, just competing and working and doing my best. And yeah, man, it was fun, man. Some of the best 4 years of my life, man. People tell you like college is some of the best times of your life, but you don't understand that when you're like 18, 17, you just like, but then once you experience it, like I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to go to college, but I'm just so appreciative, man. God blessed me with the opportunity to go and met some amazing people, on and off the field.
That's such an amazing thing. I have a lot of obviously younger listeners, a lot of guys who play in football teams right now in college. What piece of advice would you give them as they're trying to balance out life and growing up and school and football and doing it the right way? What would you tell them that they should do?
Man, I would just say, man, first of all, man, enjoy the moment and enjoy being there, because I feel like time goes by so fast. It's hard to enjoy, but enjoy the moment. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. My coaches always say there's no such thing as a stupid question. If you got any questions, man, ask, because if you don't ask and you confuse and you do the wrong thing, that's on you. And also network, meet as many people as you can. Take advantage of your time there, because once you gone, you still can be able to network, but it's just so much easier while you're on campus. But man, just network, meet as many people as you can and have fun. Enjoy it, because once you graduate, you in the real world now with everybody else.
Yeah, don't be a fool, stay in school, right? Is what I tell people.
Right. I mean, as long as you can, but I mean, if you know what you want to do, and you know, if school isn't it, then by all means, you know, go for your dreams. Cause you know, you be in school wasting like I had a free education, but you know, some people have to pay for school, so you know, you don't want to waste your money or your time. You know, if you got something, you got a goal, and you got a dream, man, just go for it.
I love it. So let's talk about this, right? You do an amazing 4 years there. You're moving forward. Tell me about the acting bug. How did you get back into that, and then how did you get to where you got to that role and some of the things that you're doing now?
Man, just through the grace of God, man. I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, he just blessed me opportunity. Like after I got done, I was still trying to play ball, was training, got an agent, did my pro day at my school to compete in front.
Oh, a little bit of frozen.
Oops.
Okay, you're back. We'll cut that out. Keep going.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, wait. Hold on. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
You can hear me, right?
I can hear you fine.
I can't hear you. I don't know why.
Go to.
Your browser has lost connection to your camera.
Oh, okay. So we have to sign. You're gonna have to sign off and sign back on. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Let me tell you.
Dang. I don't know what happened. Should I leave and come back? Okay. Oops.
Yo, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Say something.
Hey, what's let me call you.
Uh-oh. Hello? Hello?
I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
It's kind of choppy.
But can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's like your microphone sound kind of choppy.
All right, let me sign off and sign back in. Oh, there you go. Donovan, can you hear me?
Yo.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but anyways, we'll get back to it.
Wait, hold on. You breaking up again?
That's weird.
What'd you say? Say something?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's like real staticky.
Real staticky.
Actually, no, I can hear you now. You good?
I'm good.
Yeah,
right.
you're good. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pick it up from the question I said again, and we'll start over about the acting stuff.
Okay, sorry about that, man.
That's all, dude. Dog, this ain't even nothing, man. This shit happens all the time, even on conference calls. If you have barking dogs and people walking around their underwear pass by, so I appreciate you, dude. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So, talking a little bit about, when you finish playing great 4 years football as a big Bruin, here you go and you get into, the acting and you play this magnificent role that I love. But tell me how you kind of got this role and how you kind of got into it and how many times you tried to get to that point of acting.
Yeah, man. Honestly, man, just through the grace of God, man. Man, he just gave me the opportunity. It's like when I got out of school, I wanted to continue to still play football, was trying out for the league, got an agent, did my pro day, got an opportunity to go up to Oakland to the Raiders, at the time. They had a 3-day trial. Oh, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
I can hear you. You said you tried out for Oakland.
You said what?
You said you tried out for Oakland, right?
Yeah, I tried out for the Raiders, man. I got cut after 3 days. Man, just crushed, man, because I wanted to play football. My dreams was crushed, was at home, just trying to figure out what I was gonna do with my life. I got my degree in history, so I didn't really want to do anything with that, like teaching and coaching anything. So went back, applying for jobs, went back to my school, actually asked them for help because it was just a haze with trying to get a job because I didn't have any experience. I didn't have a resume. I think, just playing football in college, get a lot of opportunities to build your resume and do internships and stuff. So I went back there and asked them for help, and they actually put me in touch with a commercial agent. So I started doing commercials as an extra. I'm like in football commercials, I'm in full pads, everything as an extra. And then once I started doing that, they sent me another email about Ballers auditioning for the show. So when I got that, I'm thinking it's still like me being an extra, background, stuff like that. But they sent me sides, they sent me like, my lines for the scene. So at first I'm thinking like, man, I thought they messed up. Like, is this to the right person? But they was like, no, can you play Vernon? Can you be here at such and such time? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So memorized the lines, man. Did my best. Showed up, competed. Like I learned in college. Did my best. They liked it. They said, can you come back again? I said, sure. I don't have nothing to do at the time. I don't have any job or anything. So they did this repeatedly for I had 10 auditions for 3 months, and I had to do that, man, 3 months straight. And yeah, they finally told me, I got the job. Like I want to say probably this is like end of 2013.
Wow. So 3 months of 10 auditions, how did you control your emotions? Because like me, I'd have been like, I didn't get it. I got it. I'm not sure. You're asking me again. How did you control that and keep that faith? That's amazing to hear.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you again. Can you turn your mic maybe off and on? Sure. I think when somebody called me, it like messes up the sound or something.
What about now? Can you hear me?
I can't say something.
What's up, dude?
It's still like staticky again.
It's still staticky.
Oh, there we go. Now you good.
All right, cool. We'll continue. So what ends up happening is because you're popular, everyone keeps calling. So
yeah, it's fucking annoying. Yeah, sorry.
Stop calling me. So here's the thing. So what I was saying was, so after 10 months of doing this, going back and 10
auditions,
3 months, going back and forth.
Yes.
How did you keep your emotions in check? Because for me, I would have been almost a little bit overwhelmed that like, did I get it or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like this was my first time going through this, so I didn't really know like I didn't know what was going on at the time. I just was but I just was always made myself available, and it just was open minded. And then I just think, like all, the casting director, the producers, the writers, the creator, like, man, they were just so patient with me, and they gave me like really good notes, because I'm really good at if you give me, because I playing football so long, I'm coachable. So if you tell me, what I did wrong and what you want me to do, I can do a pretty good job of deciphering and figuring it out. And I think they figured that out too as I went along the process. And then I also just seen that they was cheering for me. They wanted me to be the guy. They didn't tell me that, but I just seen, they helped me so much, and they were so patient with me. And yeah, I just kind of came in and just did my best, man. I definitely was nervous, definitely was scared, man. But my dad, he just told me, man, just go for it. Why not? Like, why not, man? Just go for it. And what's the worst that's gonna happen? So I just kind of went in there just open-minded every time, and I just did my best.
Now, it was amazing because you did great. Obviously, 5 seasons and everything and anything you can imagine. I think I've seen Ballers at least twice. I'm about to do it again because for the 3rd time. But every time I watch it, I pick up something in business. And I don't know if that was kind of obviously what the intentions and purposes were. But the one part, I remember the very first part was you're asking for money. You got a big payday.
Right.
Lends you $300,000. He goes to the ATM and has no money in his account.
Right.
I can tell you as an entrepreneur, this has happened to me 100 times.
Right.
I put in a big amount of money, and I'm sitting going, how the hell am I going to pay my electric bill next month? Right. How am I going to go ahead and pay this mortgage? I just dropped 6-7 figures onto something. But it's that faith. And when you saw it on TV, and then you start talking to other sports agents who actually do this, right? They start telling you, yeah, this is really kind of how it is, right?
Yeah.
And this is really kind of the lifestyle that you have to do. And the one thing that one of my partners told me, David Moreno, he said, if you chase money and you give a bag of money to guys, that's all you're going to get. And if you treat them right and they like you, they become friends, that's what you're going to get, right? And so for me, at that very moment when that came back on again, I was like, I'm going to enter this field because after Jerry Maguire, this had happened, and I saw Ballers. I was like, this is absolutely what I want to do, right? But the whole entire time as you're doing this, were you aware that you were going to play a role next to The Rock and Mark Wahlberg was throwing the productions, and then you're going to get Rob Corduroy to come in? Like, did those names overwhelm you, or you like, because you stood your presence, man, like you were your own man. They never took away from the scene. You guys were such a perfect fit. And I don't see that often when it comes to someone, of the magnitude that you guys are all in with HBO, but it was such a perfect thing.
Yeah, man, it was a blessing. Like I definitely knew The Rock was in there. And I was such a big fan, of course, lead into it before meeting him. That definitely was, I ain't gonna say a little intimidated, but definitely like just starstruck.
It's The Rock, yeah, that's The Rock, right, yeah.
But then I think just getting a chance to meet, Dwayne and Rob Corddry and Omar Miller and Troy Garrity, got to meet them guys before we started filming and just seeing just how cool they were and how down to earth they were. And I think that kind of brought me at ease too, because I'm like, man, these guys are just like me. They're no different. They've been doing this longer than me, of course. But they was just so cool. They were so patient, and they was quick too to grab me around the shoulder, man, and just give me some knowledge, give me some uplift, which at the time I was so thirsty for because I was so new. And then they always would show love, man. So I was just appreciative of them and just their patience, man. And they just, and also just going on set and seeing them work and just seeing how they conducted themselves. And they were just so humble as well. Like you would have thought they weren't on any TV show the way they acted.
I love it, man. Humility is key. And I love that you just share that to a lot of people. A lot of people get this misconstrued, especially when they come from bigger cities, like the cities we come from. They think the hustle and bustle. They think that they have to one-up people. They think they have to get the edge. And one thing I preach in everything that I do, especially on Pandanomics, is being nice gets you so much more farther than trying to be a cool guy, right? And you said that someone like Rock, someone like Rob, someone they've done it for so many years, and they're just so gentle and nice human beings. Do you find yourself, when you work with people, that if they're nicer, they're easier to gravitate to something you want to do, as opposed to just like what I do now, which is, dude, this guy sucks. I don't want to deal with him. I don't care how much money he has. He's just a jerk, and I don't want to do that.
Right. I mean, absolutely, man. I think in any field, any business, like if you're nice and you easy to work with, man, you'll go far in life in whatever you do. Now, like, and that's the thing too. You get to a certain point where like when you might, you might be the lead, you might be the boss, and it's like, yeah, I can get this guy, he works really hard, he does his job, but he's a dick. Or I get somebody else that's nice, dude, just as good, maybe not as good as this guy, but he's just easy to work with. And they're gonna go at the other guy every time, man, because it's just smoother, especially being on set. You around, we around each other for 12, 16-hour days. So that's what I was appreciative of just being around, cool, amazing people, because it makes the time go by faster, and it makes the day better. And you actually, for me, I was looking forward to going to work every day, man. It was a dream, like, and it's not too many places that's like that in occupations.
I love your blessings, and you seem to be very spiritual, right? Because you mentioned about God and the blessings that you received from there, and not talk too much religion, but as far as the blessings, do you find that the appreciation and the guidance that you've received has helped you with your career so far, and has that become a good balance in your life with everything that you've been trying to do?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, for me, I test my faith, man, to my grandmother. She passed away a couple years, but she the one that like just got me going to church, man. Just got me in the word, in the book. And I think once I did that, like, man, life was just life just changed for me. And I'm always I feel like for anybody, when you're appreciative and you grateful in this world, you'll get more out of it. If you're not, and you greedy and you expect things and you think people owe you stuff, you'll still probably get stuff, but you won't be appreciative of that. So I was just so fortunate because baller just came out of nowhere for me, and man, it was such a fun, just great experience, and it's just something I'll remember for the rest of my life, man. I'm just so thankful to have been on there and for people to bet on me and give me a chance.
It's amazing, man. You honestly did such an amazing job, and I love it. Let's talk about season 5, which led us to our conversations, right? So season 5, here we go. All of a sudden, you're thinking about 4 into to 5. You're thinking about quitting football, and then you're like, because you want to play video games, and you want to play League of Legends, and you want to be a professional gamer. And I remember like that storyline was happening, and I remember because during that time when season 5 was happening, that's when I met Mark, right? I mentioned that to you. I went to his house and talked to Cowboy and some of the guys there, FaZe. And then when I saw season 5 come out and you guys were doing the whole entire thing, you yourself, you're a gamer, right? And I know you love games. Tell us what games you play, and tell us how that transition of you being an actor, now playing football person, which you are a football guy, an actor, and now a gamer. You get to do all the cool things that every person wishes they could do, and you get to act and talk about it. And tell me about that transition and what you do with gaming and how that became part of the acting bug too.
Yeah, man, it was cool, man. I mean, I think, Vern, even from like early in the season, like he always was like playing, Xbox, you just kind of see him in the background, just always playing games, but you didn't know like he was like a real gamer till season 5. But Lev, our creator, he hit me up, before we started shooting, and he's like, do you play video games? And I'm like, yeah, man. I play, for me, I play more sports games. I never played League of Legends, but I played at the time. I played Madden, of course, NBA 2K, Call of Duty, FIFA, baseball. I played baseball back in the day. I was always such a sports person, so I played more sports games. And then he just can't, but then I get the script and we playing League of Legends, and then I'm like, damn, like what's League of Legends? Like I never heard of it. And then I just got introduced, to that world, which is in the whole esports world, which is so massive. They got me a coach to train, to help me play, and I'm just like, oh man, this is a real thing. And then I learned about the tournaments they do and just all this stuff, man. I was just so fascinated because I'm just like, because when I was a kid, your parents tell you like, get off those video games. You need to go, you need to do this and you do that, but you got professional video game players, that's making pretty good money. So man, and it was just a pleasure just meeting so many people in the video game world. And then I kind of use that in my personal life because me, Donovan, I still play games. And then I was like, okay, I got to host some events and got to play in tournaments during COVID, and now I'm streaming as well. So it's just a whole new world, man, that that I never knew existed, and I'm still learning as I go. And I think with esports, man, it's just getting started. Like, you know, you look 10 years from now, it's gonna be it might be an Olympics, you know, soon too, because it's to me it's really a sport. Like, people don't, you know, they think it's just like, you know, a hobby or a leisure, but it's really a sport because you got guys putting in a lot of hours and competing for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. You talked about how you host some events. I saw it, but tell us a little bit about the hosting event that you did with esports.
Yeah, man, I did for Super Bowl this past year. I hosted a Fortnite tournament that they did with they had professional Fortnite players and they had NFL players, and they did a tournament, you know, 2v2, and just, you know, last person standing won, and it was really cool, man. I met some cool people, you know, met some NFL players, of course, and man, it was just really cool just to be a part of that production and just, you know, learn about Fortnite, learn about the players, and just see, you know, like a real event, you know, up close and personal.
That was amazing. When you saw the production of it, were you shocked on the caliber of production and who ended up winning that tournament? Do you remember?
Man, I was definitely shocked, just because, you know, it looked just like Ballers, man. Like how we portrayed it on set, it was definitely, you know, they did their homework. It was the real thing, and just how it was structured. Everything was organized. Everything was on point. Who won? I think Baker Mayfield won. I can't remember who his partner was, but I think Baker won, or maybe I know Kyler Murray was in the mix. And I think it was this running back, but yeah, man, it was fun, man. They had a good time, and you know, they raised money, you know, for charity as well. And I'm all about, you know, doing philanthropy stuff and giving back. So, you know, it was cool. It was the best of both worlds, and it was in Miami. You know, I got to go to Miami, which was amazing. Super Bowl. So yeah, man, I was just like, I'll do this every year if you want me to. I'm with it.
I love it, man. I love it. Tell us a little. Like, you're streaming right now. What are you streaming on Twitch, and what is the name? What is your channel name that you have?
Yeah, man, I'm on Twitch, man. My channel name is DC Soulfly 90, which is my Twitter as well. But yeah, I was playing Call of Duty on there, just on my PlayStation streaming that. I'm working on getting the computer and everything made so I can be, you know, because I want to be legit. For me, if I do something, I want to do it right. Or why not do it at all? So I'm working on right now, getting my computer and everything ready to set up so everybody can see this beautiful face while I'm streaming.
I love it.
But yeah, man, it was cool, man. I'm Call of Duty and Madden right now, so I'll probably be streaming, you know, that, and then when I get the new PlayStation, you know, because I'm getting a new PlayStation as well. So I'm like, damn, I don't want to buy all these games now. So I'm, you know, because I play 2K as well and other stuff. So yeah, I just want to stream, you know, as much as I can, you know, just on the side, you know, from me acting, and I'm doing a podcast now, and I'm doing streaming. Just, you know, give people, you know, different personalities, different sides of me, hopefully.
I love it. Tell us a little bit about your podcast that you're doing.
Yeah, man, I just started a podcast, you know, like everybody else in the world during quarantine. But a lot of friends, they was like, man, you should do a podcast. You should do a podcast. So I finally did it. But it's called I'm Supposed to Be Here. It's me. I have guests sometimes, you know, friends, people I know, sometimes by myself. But just talking about, you know, current events, what's going on, you know, in the culture, sports, you know, gaming, music, you know, being in the business. Being, you know, I'm from LA, being in LA, you know, just life tools, hopefully motivational use. Everything is respectfully. No, you know, not trying to, you know, no offense to anybody, you know, just speaking my mind, and, you know, just doing that, man. And, you know, it's been fun. People been enjoying it, you know, it's one of the things, you know, just like streaming, just like anything, just got to keep doing it, keep being consistent. So I'm just working on that, you know, just showing people different, you know, different sides of me. That's my goal.
I love it, my man. One last thing. If you were to give anybody a piece of advice, whether it's gaming, whether it's acting, whether it's pursuing their dreams to go on NFL or a podcast, what piece of advice would you give our listeners?
What's the last part you said?
What piece of advice would you give our listeners?
Man, my piece, man, is I think right now for me, because I'm in my journey as well, post ballers and figuring out life too. But man, just run your race, man. I know, you see other people doing stuff and you like, man, that looks cool and I want to do that. It's fine to be motivated, but just run your race. You don't have to compete against nobody but yourself, man. If somebody's doing that, man, that's good for them. But just stay focused and just keep going. Just take one day at a time. Stay in the moment. And just be patient and also believe. I'm learning too, man. Your words are powerful, and whatever you say and whatever you put out in the universe, man, it's gonna come back. But man, just be positive. That's it. Stay positive, because it's as easy as be negative. It's easy to be positive.
Unbelievable, man. I love that. I almost feel like good people meet good people. Your energy, what you just said, is literally what I say to everyone. Like, what you say will happen. Positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. That's
Right.
why we attracted each other and started hanging out and stuff. I mean, it's an amazing story, Donovan. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for bearing with technical difficulties. We appreciate everyone that joined on. Donovan, drop again one more time your handle so everyone can follow you.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Dave, man, for having me on here, man. I really appreciate it. And everybody watching. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Donovan W. Carter. My podcast is on Apple Music, Spotify, and the podcast app of I'm Supposed to Be Here, on Twitch, DC So Fly. And man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. God bless y'all. Happy holidays as well.
Yep.
And man, 2020, man, enjoy it. Looking forward to 2021.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining. Again, Pandanomics podcast is David Chen. Remember, Panda loves you. New York Weekly's #1 podcast for 2020. My main man, Donovan Carter. Good night, guys. Thank you. All right, Donovan, you got. I'm gonna call you. You got a minute when I call you?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna call your cell. All right, man. Thank you.